I'd like to welcome everybody to the Chemical Consultants Network. The Chemical Consultants Network is a topical group of people who are consultants in the chemical, pharmaceutical, chemical engineering, and allied industries. We are supported partially by the American Chemical Society as well as the engineering, the Chemical Engineering Association. We meet we meet 6 or 7 times during the year to present topics that are of interest to people who are in this area, who are either advanced in their careers or who are consultants or who are entrepreneurs and people serving them. Just a quick announcement: we are going to be the next meeting is going to be of the academic year is going to be held next month. It's going to be the second week, the second Wednesday of the month, which is going to be the 14th of June, and it's going to be at 5 o'clock. It's going to be a picnic, and so I expect a lot of people to sign up and to show up. We have up to 80 people we can have there. So more information is going to be coming up within the next couple of days about the nature of the picnic. All right. Do we have, before we get started with Joanne and John, do we have any announcements? Hearing none. Okay. Let me introduce you to our speaker. John has been a terrific. John Newport and Joanna have been a terrific help to our organizations, and they have stepped up to the plate to present to us something that's going to be very interesting to all of us, which is the AI and how we can use it for the benefit of our business.
Okay.
So really, at the end of our presentation, we want to find out who else has used AI applications. Have they benefited from them? Are there any things that they particularly like? We're not experts in this area, and our focus is on utility to consultants. Not on the wider philosophical discussions about the goodness or badness of AI. Let's go to the next slide. So our first question was to see how AI in the form of ChatGPT could be of benefit to us. So we decided to ask it how it could help us. And that's what you're seeing up on the screen here. The text in blue is what we asked it, and the text in black is what we got back.
Want me to read it for anyone who? I think we have one person who's only on phone, so.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and sort of read it, but do it fairly quickly because.
Sure. Okay, it says, as an independent consultant in the field of chemistry, you can make the best use of ChatGPT in the following ways. Research and information gathering. You can use ChatGPT to gather information about chemistry-related topics. ChatGPT has access to vast amounts of information and can provide you with up-to-date and accurate information on any chemistry topic. Problem solving. ChatGPT can help you with problem solving in your work. You can ask GPT questions about specific chemistry problems that can provide you with possible solutions or ideas. Idea generation. ChatGPT can be used to generate new ideas for your work. You can ask ChatGPT to provide you with ideas or insights on a specific topic or problem, and it can provide you with fresh and innovative ideas.
Good, next one. There's more.
Communication. ChatGPT can help you communicate complex chemistry topics or ideas to your clients or colleagues in a clear and concise manner. You can ask ChatGPT to explain chemistry concepts or provide you with examples to use in your presentations or reports. Learning. ChatGPT can also be useful as a learning tool. You can ask ChatGPT to provide you with explanations, definitions, or examples of chemistry concepts you are unfamiliar with, and it can help you. I got cut off a little bit at the bottom there. Oh, my bad. All right. Let me
Yeah,
go
that's
back.
better.
and show you. All right. That was the first page that I read. This is the response from ChatGPT. We will share the document to the PowerPoint document. And that's just a continuation of the answer that ChatGPT gave us.
I keep going.
John says, anything else? ChatGPT responds, yes, here are some additional ways you can make the best use of ChatGPT. Literature search. ChatGPT can assist you in conducting a literature search on a particular topic of interest. You can ask ChatGPT to provide you with relevant research papers, articles, or other sources related to your query. Trend analysis. ChatGPT can help you stay updated with the latest trends and advancements in the field of chemistry. You can ask ChatGPT to analyze data and provide you with insights on emerging trends, new technologies, industry developments. And then collaboration. ChatGPT can facilitate collaboration with other experts in your field. You can use ChatGPT to connect with other professionals, seek their opinions or advice, and share knowledge and expertise. Then we have decision-making. ChatGPT can be used to aid in decision-making processes. You can ask to provide you with data-driven insights, pros and cons of different options, suggestions based on your specific requirements. And then personalization. Finally, you can personalize your interaction with ChatGPT to meet your specific needs. You can train ChatGPT to learn your preferences, tailor responses to your requirements, and provide you with customized solutions. And what's the
Yeah.
blue part there? Oh,
That's my comment.
okay, go ahead.
So the key thing to remember is that with that particular application, you can have a detailed conversation with it. You can ask it to elaborate on any part of its responses to you. You can have it respond as a true expert or as somebody who can communicate with a child. Below that, just to pick one example of the things it said it could do, I just asked it to summarize the rules for the halogenation of the aromatics. Let's go to the next slide. It's not that we need to read this all out. It's just simply to show you that it came back with an immediate response. There's nothing new here, but it's assembled the data quite nicely. Let's see. It took it. This is something, of course, that any chemist could do if he goes to his textbooks. But it'll take him a little while. This took about 10 seconds. So one of the real benefits of something like ChatGPT is it can save you time. Let's go to the next slide.
We should also mention that ChatGPT is just one tool.
Oh, yes.
There are others. So
we're going to
we just happen to use ChatGPT because it's the one everybody's using and it's easy to use, but there are others as well.
So that was just a continuation. I asked it another question that's highlighted there in blue, and it came back with another response.
We do have one person who can't see the screen, can only hear from phone. So maybe read the question.
The question was, how do other substituents on the benzene ring affect halogenation? And it gives you a series of the effect of electron withdrawing groups and so on and so forth. All right, let's move along. So here's the continuation of the response. It was a pretty good summary, I thought. But as Joanne just noted, there are literally hundreds of AI apps out there. You can find them at Future Tools. I don't know how Command got in
No,
there.
it's .com. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, I
We'll
see.
fix it. Yeah.
And on YouTube. YouTube is a great source of tons of these different applications.
Yeah, a lot of people have curated, you know,
Mhm.
which is helpful.
So the text in black, we'll read that. These are just some of the things that you can do with it, some of the applications that are out there.
Let me read
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
Yeah, so that would be searching, personal assistant, image editing or generation from text, coding, website generation, video editing and generation from text, composing music, legal, logo design, Excel programming, avatar, Zoom meeting summary, mind maps, consensus of research papers, medical problems, provides treatment plans and professional designs. This is always changing, and
Yes.
my son was just telling us today that it won't give you legal advice anymore because somebody's getting sued or whatever. But this is a very much a moving target, but it does have those abilities. Whether you can access them or not at this particular moment, we don't know.
So we're giving you some examples next. This is actually a real favorite of mine. It's an AI search engine called Find. So you just go to find.com.
PHIND.
Yes, that's the important thing. You can ask it anything. You can use its best model, a short answer. You can ignore what's on the web if you want. Let's go to the next slide. We missed one. There we go. So I just provide an example here. I asked it, what are the 5 most incompressible materials? And the nice thing about this particular search engine is it will give you a nice answer on one side, and it will give you the sources it uses on the other. And not that any of our listeners are going to be interested in what are the best incompressible materials. It's merely to illustrate how it presents its data. And it's much easier to read often than a Google search. So I'd encourage you to play around with this. I really like it a lot. Okay. That's yours.
Yeah, so I looked into 2 topics. I've spent some time playing around with the AI tools, but not as much as I would have liked to. Still a long way to go. But what I did do was I played around with some of these tools that generate images, graphics for you. There are many of them, and some are free. Some used to be free. They had a free trial, and then they were overused and pulled the free trial. Others are subscription based or credit based. You buy a certain number of credits. So the whole, just in the last few months, we've seen some AI creators have put their tools out there for use for free, but it's clear they're not going to be free forever. At least the ones that are not open source are probably won't be. Anyway, one that I use is called Stable Diffusion. So there are 4 of them. John used DALL-E, and I used Midjourney, and then another one called Dreamlike Art. But there, you can just Google and find many different ones. These are just 4 examples. So I will say that the first 3 here, Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, Midjourney, are maybe the most used ones right now. And so basically the whole idea is you go, yeah, this is a little bit of lag here. So basically you use what they call the prompt, is you describe what you want the image to look like. And there are also some or all of them have something called a negative prompt, which means tell us what you don't want included in that image. And so I just played around with this for a little fun. I said, my prompt is 2 chemists in a corporate chemistry lab, 1 male and 1 female, colorful, realistic cartoon. And this is from the Stable Diffusion tool. And just on the first round, it gave me things like this, which was interesting thought.
Now, let me ask you this,
We'll go back into
was
any of
this
those
something that
if
was
you go in to
already
change
on the internet, or did they generate these?
Excuse me,
My
repeat that,
question
please.
is, my question was this, are these images, were these images downloaded from the internet, or is this something that the AI generated?
Yeah, this right here, what you see here is a screenshot of what I typed in.
Yeah, I get that.
And it generated those images and displayed them for me, created them for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's original then.
Well, that's a whole nother, yes, original from this AI, but it has crawled the entire internet. It has, you could say looked at. There's still some questions as to how original these really are. They are based on, like you could say, do this in I don't know, pick any famous artist that you want. And so it's technically using that artist's work to inspire, or it doesn't literally copy it, but anyway, you can see how this, whether it's original or not, is one of the trick questions about AI right now. But it did, I would say that, yeah, no, there's nothing else. This is original in terms of it didn't copy it from anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
And then there's 2 more that it created.
And you can usually pick any one of those and tell it to change stuff inside it.
Oh, right. You can ask it to make adjustments and so on. That was just a first cut. And then John used DALL-E, which is also an OpenAI product, right? Mm-hmm. OpenAI being a company, the one that created ChatGPT. It started out as a nonprofit. It is no longer a nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, John's prompt said, a wizard holding a crystal ball, posing as a power plant operator, and sitting in front of a computer screen. The computer screen displaying a dashboard interface with various graphs and data visualizations. A line graph showing the predicted electricity demand over the next 24 hours, with the AI prediction in one color and the actual demand in another color. Real-time data on energy supply. And he created this because he actually needed it for a proposal. He was,
Yeah.
Did you actually use this?
Yes.
Okay, you did. And then you can see the result is here on the same page. It created that image according to John's instructions. You tweaked it a couple times, right?
Oh, yeah, I did several iterations.
Yeah. So that's what DALL-E produced. And I think a lot of people think DALL-E is the best one, but that's a matter of opinion.
Now what we're doing is going through some of the other examples on the list that Joanne read earlier. This particular one is on medical. So it's a clinical knowledge database created and maintained by clinicians. But you can basically say what problem you have, and it will come up with a protocol for treating it. Now, whether you have to be an MD or not, I'm not exactly sure, but I just wanted to cover a sort of a larger landscape of things that are there that may be of possible interest to everybody.
The next topic is using AI tools to assist with coding. Now, I don't know how many consultants in CCN do coding, but probably a lot of us come across, well, have done it in the past, or maybe could use it if it didn't take that much time for data analysis and I don't know, many other things. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's out there that I have seen. I personally have not used these at any length, though I think I will be. Well, I know I will be. But I just wanted to talk about kind of what's out there and what's going on in this part of the field. So as it says, many AI coding tools can help programmers write code faster and more efficiently, and are revolutionizing the way we approach software development, and might also change the way people learn new tech skills. They're becoming increasingly popular among developers as they automate repetitive tasks, enhance code quality, and accelerate the development process. And I actually asked, I asked ChatGPT, and I also asked the Bing search engine. There is a Microsoft's search engine is Bing. Microsoft is in some form of financial partnership with OpenAI now. Mm-hmm. They put some millions or billions of money into it, and they incorporated Chat or OpenAI technology into the Bing search engine. So there is a special version of Bing that you can use that acts just like ChatGPT. So I actually asked both of them to tell me what the most widely used tools were and tell me a little bit about them. And so I've got a list here. One of them is called OpenAI, again, the same company. It's called Codex, and it's an AI model. And what the idea is basically that to turn natural language into code. Now, I've been in the IT field for a long time, and I know that people have been trying to do this since at least the 1980s, and we used to sort of laugh about it, but it looks like this time it actually writes real code from natural language. Now, well, I can't do a full assessment. I mean, I think at this point it can help you with parts of your job. I don't see it completely replacing developers and web architects and such yet, but anyway, but it can generate code. It can also be used to review your code, help you debug, rewrite code, and it could do a lot of things. It can help you develop unit testing. And I think the good thing for people like us is that if you don't feel like keeping up with every new programming language, or at this point you need really to work in IT, you need to know many different languages. But maybe some of them, like Python, could be very useful to a scientist, particularly in data analysis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the public data sets out there, things like that. Well, if you can spin up some SQL and some Python to go through one of those public data, that could be kind of a game changer, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyway, so the first one I listed is OpenAI Codex. It's, like I said, it's a model, parses natural language. It generates code and response, and it powers it. It is it's a base level model that then can be also used in other tools. Like it's under the hood in a product called GitHub Copilot. GitHub is a huge repository of code. A lot of people write their code, put it on GitHub. It's a big version control repository of code that has grown into a hosting service. And well, probably a lot of you know what GitHub is, but anyway, you can use it as a tool inside GitHub. It's also, if you've used a coding editor, a code editor tool now, like something like VS Studio, Visual Studio, you'll know that it does a better job than it did in the old days, where you don't just have a page of text. It's a little bit more intelligent in terms of knowing what different keywords are, syntax, things like that. I'll put them in different colors, but it also has like an autocomplete function. Well, this takes the autocomplete to a different level. It's much more intelligent. And it can also find code snippets for you and things like that. It's proficient allegedly in more than a dozen programming languages. And as I mentioned before, OpenAI allows other businesses and developers to build on top of it through their API. So OpenAI will be the sort of engine in some other tools that will be developed. The second one I mentioned is GitHub Copilot. I kind of mixed that in with the first one there. This GitHub, it was co-developed with OpenAI Codex, and it's a tool for interpreting AI-generated source code and natural language. It can write code in at least a dozen languages, including JavaScript, Go, Perl, PHP, Ruby, Swift, and TypeScript. Number 3 is DeepTab9. DeepTab9 is an AI-powered auto-completion tool that can be used with most text editors. It uses machine learning to predict the next few lines of code that you're going to write. And so some people might be familiar with Tab9. It's sort of like an add-on to code editors. Number 4 is DiffBlue. I don't have any experience with this one. DiffBlue is an AI-powered tool that can automatically generate unit tests for Java code. And it uses machine learning to analyze the code, generate tests that cover all the possible paths through the code. Number 5 is CodeGen. That's a tool that can automatically generate code from natural language descriptions of what the code should do. Can generate code in several languages, including Python, Java, C++, JavaScript. Number 6 is Codota. Also a tool can help you write better code. It can suggest the next line of code based on your current code, and it supports several programming languages, Java, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript. And some of these will just write the code for you. Others are more like an integrated, suggestion tool for you, or it helps you, increases your productivity, maybe takes away some of those monotonous tasks that you do over and over again, or silly mistakes, whatever. Number 7 is Kite. It's a code completion. Again, this is like an add-on to popular code editors, real-time code suggestions, code snippets. It uses deep learning models to analyze the code and suggest improvements. Number 8, Deep Code is a code analysis tool. It helps developers identify and fix potential bugs and security vulnerabilities in their code. It integrates with code repository tools like GitHub. And number 9, Code Guru. And there's another one called Code Whisperer. Code Guru is a code review tool developed by Amazon Web Services, AWS, which, half the internet runs on AWS platform. People don't even know it. But again, that's Code Guru. And then there's also Code Whisperer, which is an AI like code generation tool. Now, some of these tools will require subscription or payment for certain features or usage limits. Some of them are priced out already, but I do believe that we really don't know what these tools are going to cost going forward, because it's so early on. And then I just took a couple quick screenshots for you of ridiculously simple things here, just to show you, like ChatGPT can also write code. So you can tell, I told ChatGPT, write Python code for a Hello World app. And it's basically one line of code for Hello World. And it tells you, it spits that out, and it tells you can copy and paste this code into any Python environment or editor, save it with a .py extension, and run it to see the output. just to kind of see the format here of how it works. And then there's also, and again, we keep using these OpenAI tools, but these are not the only ones out there. They're just the ones that really took off and
Right.
where we were more familiar with. And we're like, really have only scratched the surface. And then this tool is called OpenAI Playground. So ChatGPT, there's OpenAI, ChatGPT is one of their tools, and then they have this Playground. It can do many, many things. I just picked one that's related to coding. And so you can, instead of generating code with natural language, you can tell the OpenAI Playground, you can give it the schema for the for a database. So you can give it the format for a file or for a database. Let's say you've got a big data set out there. And, you know, SQL statements can be pretty tedious to write. They're extremely picky, and it can take a few times before it's right. Or you just don't remember how to join tables and all that stuff because you haven't done it in a long time. So you can use natural language and it will generate a SQL statement for you as well. I haven't tried this yet. I'm just showing you an example, but hopefully it can also help you generate the most efficient SQL statement too, because how you query a database, how long the response takes and how much, you know, juice it takes can vary a lot depending on how you structure that SQL call. So anyway, I just wanted to show those things to you. And that's, like I said, we're only scratching the surface. This is continue. This is the SQL statement that it generated. And here's the code, Python code. So that's all I got.
To the end?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, let's open it up.
Has anybody else used any tools that they want to talk about? We don't have anything in the chat, so.
Let me ask you this, Joanne. Yeah, this is, oh, okay. I'm just wondering about why don't I see this on like Google? Why is it all these companies who I've never heard of? Why doesn't these big companies who I have heard of not use these, or why is not available from them?
They basically beat Google to it.
Yeah.
They are further along. Google, there was quite a stir at Google when OpenAI came out with their products. I mean, a lot of these things are being worked on, and we just didn't know about them. But yeah, Google has a product that has not been made available to the public yet. Other than that, I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely not an AI expert. We were really just wanted to focus on, you know, what have people tried this, and, you know, especially since a lot of us are, you know, one-man show, things that could help us be more productive, save us time, all that that's our main focus here.
Okay. And
there are a lot of articles, Peter, out there about what happened when OpenAI released their public, you know, became just a huge sensation. And I don't know if Google lost any, I don't know, did they have, there were a lot of repercussions at Google. They put out like a red alert throughout the company and things like that. There's a lot of articles about it.
Well, I imagine it'll be just like with Microsoft. They're going to grow it by just buying up some AI company that have perfected one of these engines to help them. Now, how does it do? What I've heard on the internet was about that ChatGPT was asked a question that's politically charged. It was, and essentially, it looked like there was, it was that uh, that it is political biased. Okay, now aside from being politically biased, you know, a lot of the stuff on the internet that I see is very much, you know, America biased, and not necessarily, you know, Europeans always complain, hey, how come we are using, how come on our computer systems when we take a look at the screens, why are they using why are we using a 30-inch monitor and not a 85 centimeter monitor? Is there a heavy bias towards Americanism? Is there a heavy bias for males versus females, or the people who are dominating the industry? How does that affect the answers that are being given by AI?
I don't know. I have a lot of concerns about it myself from many different angles. But right now, I'm curious as to how it could be used to make my life a little easier. And that's what I've been focusing on, that aspect of it, or at least for this meeting. I certainly am discussing and reading about the other aspects of it. I mean, it's pretty scary.
There's one application called Agent GPT, which you can basically use as a personal assistant. And go to YouTube, you'll find many examples of that. And that's one thing I think that could be very useful, particularly for so many of us who are one-man or woman shows.
And getting older.
Right. But we've only scratched the surface so far, and we thought it was a timely thing to do to have a general discussion about it and see if anybody else has made use of anything yet, or whether they plan to. And I think this will be a topic for a subsequent meeting a few months down the road when we know a lot more.
Has
I
anybody
have a question.
played around and found something useful or helpful to themselves? Or I'm sorry, Ron, I interrupted you.
We both interrupted each other. I had a question, probably to John. You know, it's become difficult since libraries have gone digital. It's become difficult sometimes to get a hold of the original publications, and you know, with copyright protection, etc. Does AI solve any of that? I mean, is it possible to get the original publications to organic chemistry or chemistry articles?
I think they access them, but they don't necessarily publish them. I think Google Scholar does that, because sometimes you will see in the abstract that it provides you information that is not in the actual abstract of the paper itself. So, and it's the same with Google Books. They get into parts of the book that you cannot get any other way. But I have the same frustration as you, that it's really expensive to start buying individual papers. There is a site, an AI site I've come across called Consensus. I thought I had it on the screen, that will look at a number of different papers on the same subject and come up with a conclusion as to what the best consensus of the technology is. And that could be very useful, but I haven't actually used it yet. Anybody use ChatGPT? I guess not.
No, not yet. I haven't used it, but I think that your presentation was very timely and is very helpful because I like to be able to write to write patents and to do products for my clients at a much faster rate and much easier rate because it's I'm paid by the hour, and I like to be able to
Yes.
compete against other people who are doing the same thing, and I think that AI is going to be able to get me there.
Yeah, I should have written down the statistic, but I didn't. But it's something like 43% of people's working hours are spent dealing with email. I think Microsoft did a study and came up with that number. That seems absurdly high. Anyway, it's a significant number. And I haven't tried it yet, but there are, as John was talking about, personal assistants. One of the things that people seem to be most interested in is in helping you manage emails. And so I suspect there are already tools, or we will be seeing,
There are.
we will be seeing them soon. I
Mhm.
personally am very bad with email and could use help with
Yeah,
getting through it.
you can get them to respond to emails, and you can get them to respond in all sorts of different tones. They're
But then you review it before you
Mhm.
send it, right? Yeah.
in the world of AI. We mentioned using what they call a prompt to ask questions, and how you construct those prompts. It has a big effect on the type of output and the quality of the output that you get. And I've read that the people who are skilled with prompt writing are now making over 200K a year because they're in demand, because they can save a lot of time down the road.
Prompt writing meaning
How
the
you,
information you submit
yes, how
to
you
the
write.
AI tool to get the response,
Mhm.
to get what you need from it.
And as it said in the beginning of the things it could do to help you, you can basically train it. I haven't tried that yet, but it will learn from experience, and it will know what to do to help you. So that's going to be my next focus.
I understand that AI will not run my reaction for me, but can they tell me that my reaction will work or will not work at this point?
You can ask it. You can ask it if there are any other examples out in the literature of that type of reaction.
No,
And,
I'm very creative. It's the reaction which is not in the literature, but I still would like to ask them if
Well,
it's
ask it
gonna
anyway.
work.
It claims to be able to present ideas. So just ask it, how would you run a reaction between whatever it is you want to react? Or how would you make whatever it is you want to make?
Can you
Right.
just say, will this work? And give them the
You could do that, but
equation.
I would say, I want to make whatever it is. Do you have any suggestions that's the best way to go about this? And then start a conversation.
Yeah, it's not just one answer. It's
Right.
an ongoing conversation.
That's what you've got to get used to. It's not like just putting in a single Google search. You can get it to elaborate, and you can argue with it.
Can I curse at it?
You want me to try it? The reason why we can do live demos is that sometimes these things get backed up.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let me see. Okay. What would you like me to type in?
Roman, what would
Yeah.
you like to ask it?
I want to make a Zante, let's say.
Spell?
X-ray.
XANTHATA. Yeah. No H at Z, no. E at Z instead of H. Yeah, E. Yes. Help me.
How do I, how, what?
So is that how to make a xanthate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just see what it says.
Right.
Let's see if
It's
it's
a
even
very short
available.
question. We'll expand it.
Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. It's the knowledge of 1930.
Well, let's challenge it.
Are there any new methods?
This is old science or technology, or tell me words here.
What are you looking for, Roman? A more efficient way?
No, the point is the word xanthate has at least 3 meanings. So it's perhaps not a very well defined question. I must, because xanthate is being used in the industry to, in mining, and it's not what I'm interested in. But
Or
you
what
know,
are you
it shows me
interested
how
in?
it works. It's wonderful.
I know that it was the servers were overloaded earlier. Now it says I have to wait a minute. So that's why we didn't do live demos, because they're not always that reliable, and they're swapped sometimes.
Now, let me ask you this: is there a if I ask you a question, is that is the answer and the question open to view by other people, or is it private? If I write something, a part of a patent that I ask you to write, is that going to be secret or not?
I
Who
believe
has access to my answers?
it's going to be secret to you, but it's then in their database. So if somebody else asks a similar sort of question, they might make use of that. The image generation ones that I've come across, it asks you if you want to publish it or not. So you can share with the world at large, or you can just keep it private.
Here's the answer. Yes,
Oh, I
your
see.
questions
Okay.
and my answers are shared publicly on the platform where you ask the question. Other users can see your question and my response. However, your personal information and identity are not shared publicly. I don't have access to any of your personal
Well,
information.
okay, so that's very useful, because what this means is that if if somebody is writing a report, or somebody is writing something for me, an invention disclosure, and it is going to be public before, and they're using this chat. It's going to be public before I can file a patent application. So I should warn my clients not to use AI to write patent disclosures.
Absolutely.
I don't know if this is true of every tool.
Well,
I
it
think-
says it right. Yeah, I understand that, but it's like if they put the inventor on the stand, it's going to look really bad to the jury. So, all right.
Interesting.
All right. I really appreciate this. This is really helpful, Joanne.
Great. We've had fun with it so far.
Hello, I have a question.
Hi there.
Did I understand correctly that AI can do literature searches?
It says it can.
So if I just put in a topic, it will give me all these articles on that topic.
Want to try it? We can try. Is there, can you think of a topic that you'd like to do a literature search on that's halfway easy to type? I'll
Okay.
try it here.
All right, make it capital USP. P,
Oh, P, USP, okay.
space, then apparatus 7. Space and 7.
Okay, let's ask the question ahead of that.
I'm so trained to be polite. I've always used please and stuff.
Wow. I am very impressed.
Great.
I am very impressed because this is so specialized. Wow. That is very, very impressive, I have to say.
Do you want us to copy it and email it to you?
Yeah, sure, but you know, it's that's really interesting.
Great.
Yeah, try out the Bing product as well. I've been playing around with that one. But it's pretty much the same format.
Yeah, Clubhouse, huh?
The same thing in Find.
Say again?
It's the same thing in Find.com.
Oh, okay. You'll have to remind me what that was.
Copy that question if you can.
Where's the
Right up there.
Well,
Yeah.
that is impressive. And where was this now? This was
PHIND.com.
and
I love
and
it
this is
because it gives
free
you
at
the
the moment?
summary and it gives you some of the references it used.
PHIND.com is free. OpenAI ChatGPT GPT is
Sorry.
free at the moment. There are more sophisticated models because these things are like learning and improving themselves all the time. ChatGPT 4 and 3.5, my understanding is those are not free. And all I know is that ChatGPT, the basic tool, is free right now. I don't know if it will be forever. It is a for-profit company. So
That was chat.openai.com was free.
yes, both of these were free.
Okay.
Would
Well,
you?
well.
I don't know if that whole answer. Can I capture a link to this answer and send it to her?
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Copy answer.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
yeah, are you talking to me?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, Vivian.
I'm just trying to think of the best way to get you this information. Whether I can just copy and paste it into the chat here. Looks like I can. There's one of the answers. That's from ChatGPT. And then here's the answer for
Oh, it looks like 3 pages. Wow. You don't have to go to all that trouble, but it's interesting.
Oh, it's no trouble at all.
Wow.
Here you go.
So do you have
Yeah,
my,
so-
you don't have my email address, do you?
no, if you can give it to me, I'll send it to you though.
Okay, it's, let me put it in the chat.
All right, I'll send it to you as soon as we end the meeting.
Well, I am very impressed. I am very, very impressed with this. That's kind of incredible.
That's great.
And, you know, my field, dissolution, is kind of, you know, obscure. It's kind of a niche. I didn't really think there would be such a thing as.
They've crawled the entire web, best I can tell. I haven't done a lot of research on how they actually achieved this yet. Well, we'll see. Anybody else have questions or want to talk about their experience with messing around with these things?
I just want to thank John and Joanne for the very interesting and pertinent and relevant presentation. I have to say that, you know, there's so much hype about every new invention that comes around, and a couple months ago, I thought this was just more BS. I think that's the technical term. But from what I've been seeing and reading in the last month or so, this really could have a big effect on the way that we do our work and whether we have jobs or not, and big changes to society. And great topic. So thanks very much.
Yes, it is a great topic. There was actually just a recent Supreme Court justice, or the Supreme Court has made a ruling on this, whether or not who owns the IP, if the writer or you know what? No, never mind. But thank you very much, Joanne. It's been a very great pleasure to have you. And John, thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. So we'll see everybody next month, right?
Right.
Mike,
Right, on the 14th, at 5 o'clock on the 14th.
all right.
Excellent.
See you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank
Right.
you, and bye-bye.